Hi everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, and it's part 2 of the needle felted polar bear today. So we've got as far as the basic body shape. Maybe you've made more legs in the meantime, but I have got 3 at the moment, so we're going to make one more leg to remind you how we did the legs as well. And then we are going to start coloring him in. Well, he's white already, but we're going to put some really lovely surface wool over the top, and then in part 3 we're finishing him off and giving him the details, and then we're posing him as well. So this is basically in a nutshell what we're doing. We have got quite a lot of people here on our live chat already. It is obviously a live stream today if you're watching on the 19th of January 2021. The tutorial will stay on YouTube, so you can rewatch it anytime, and better still, we will be doing a live stream on Facebook with this very same tutorial that you're watching now on Thursday this week, and that is 7 p.m. So if you have to shoot off, then don't worry, you can do all of this with a chat on Facebook, on the Makers Facebook group, again at 7 p.m. on Thursday. And that makes it, I must remember these dates. So today is Tuesday the 19th, Wednesday the 20th, Thursday the 21st. Is that right? Did I get this right this time? I think I'm right. Let's just see who's watching. Remember to give us the thumbs up. If you like what you see, give us the thumbs up. I will say it lots of times. I've watched Pam Duthie on Sunday. She was doing the Makers Box subscription box owl, and she got over 50 likes, and I want to get there too. Not that I'm competitive or anything, but I've got to have at least 50 viewers, which at the moment we don't have here live, so that might make it slightly more complicated. But in any case, to those who are here, thank you very much for joining us, and let's just see who is here. We've got Jude and Sandra, Fenny, Diana, Natasha is there. Everybody's saying hello and hi. Natasha says, hello, just logged on and will fish out my bits and bobs to get ready to fit along with you all. I just had this vision that you've got a fishing rod now and you're fishing for all your bits and bobs. Laura is there, Claire is there, Pamela is there all the way from Oregon, Michael is there, hi Michael, Suze is there, Diane is there, Eva is there, Stephanie is there, hello everybody, Kim is there, Erica is there, Julie is there, Amanda, Donna is there, hi Donna, Lil Missy Moo 22 is there, hello, Pauline is there, lots of new names that I don't recognize and lots of familiar ones that I do. Merlingtons is there, and Trisha is there, and Emily. And of course, at the other end is Emma, who's supporting me throughout this live stream. So if you have any questions that other people might benefit from, just tell her on the live chat, and I'll try and shout them out so I don't have to constantly look at the live chat. And of course, we've also got to draw a winner today, which is Emma's job too. And she will share all kinds of links onto the live chat, so that if there's anything that you want to jump on and get straight away, then it's there for you to do so. And what you can win today, I will just tell you a little story. Yesterday was International Blue Day, and I don't know how any of you felt, but I felt really blue. In fact, I'm wearing blue. I was very tempted to be dressed in blue altogether. Not that I had planned that. It's been quite a tough old day yesterday. Why is that? I guess it's because the days are still quite short, little daylight. The weather hasn't been brilliant. It's been quite wet and damp and cold and windy, and we've got storms and floods to come again, and it just feels a little bit like, oh, when is this going to end? It's a fair old trudge, with never mind with everything else that's going on top of it. So this morning I went, I had this bright idea. I have these bright ideas at times to go do my food shopping really early, thinking, I won't meet many people, which was true. It wasn't very busy at 7 o'clock in the morning, but I absolutely hate going to supermarkets. Hate shopping. As soon as I walk in, I want to walk out again. But I persevered and I stuck to it. I've got family. There's 6 of us in the family. They all eat loads, and so we need to buy it in. And then I was told off at the till, and this is what set me off, because I'm already feeling quite fragile. So I apparently stepped forward too soon, not realizing that the person in front of me hadn't paid yet, so they'd sort of had to come back on themselves again, and it wasn't like I couldn't take it. It was just, when sometimes you just need one little thing that somebody tells you, and that is like, oop. So I had to like fight my tears back and be really grown up about it. And but I was very flustered and quite sort of felt a little bit I don't know, just knocked off my balance. And so I did all my packing and unpacking and packing again and whatnot, and then I walked out of the shop, but realized I'd forgotten the toilet paper behind. That was just because I was so frazzled in my mind, and then I drove home, and then I opened the back of the boot, opened it up, and then 2 shopping bags fall down, and everything spills into the mud, which that was like another thing where I thought, oh, what is going to happen next? That's just obviously the worst thing in the world, right? So nothing else happened that was bad, by the way. So I just suddenly realized we need a bit of a pick-me-up. So the competition prize today is to make these baby barn owls. You get the kit, and it makes 4 to 5, got everything in it that you need to make them, including our wool mat, which is brand new. So I'm confident in saying that this is a plastic-free kit. All the stuff that's in there has been packed, either is in there loose or has been packed in paper bags. And you get our fully compostable basic wool mat with needles, and the wool mat itself has also been made from recycled wool already. So you're doing something really, really good, because today the competition is about just sending positive messages. So if anybody like me today, this morning, where I was tearful because somebody told me off in the supermarket, it wasn't even a bad telling off, it was a very polite thing that she did say, and I apologized to her later as well, saying, oh, I didn't realize the lady in front of me hadn't paid yet. Anyway, cut a long story short, what's your pickup line? And I don't mean if you're picking somebody up, I don't mean that. I'm getting this already wrong. You're not trying to chat somebody up. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not what I mean by pickup. What I'm trying to say is, what's your positive reinforcement that you want to tell somebody who feels a little bit down in the dumps? So let's have it. Tell us what nice things you would tell somebody if they felt a bit like me, a bit sort of fragile, a little bit tearful. So it's a pick me up line. It's not a I don't know, chat up line. That's not what we want. We do that next time. Let's have a pick me up phrase. Anything that you would give, that you would say somebody, not necessarily to me, but to anybody in this time right now, in these times right now. Okay, sorry, that was a long roundabout way to get there. And the cutoff time for the competition is when, how far are we getting today? Let's just have a look. Is when we start covering the bear with this super soft Cape Merino wool. Absolutely love this. Can't wait to do it. So as soon as I start covering the bear with that wool, that is the cutoff line for the competition. And then Emma will do a random pick. So it's not whoever says the best thing. It's totally random, totally coincidental. If you win, then yeah, it's somewhere out there in the ether. Somebody's obviously had you in mind today. Right, so let's crack on with the polar bear. I've got my overhead camera already. Maybe I should have a look if there's a nice pick me up, not pickup line, pick me up today. Oh, look, there's Jo. So that's let's read her. My positive line would be, friends are like stars, we don't always see them, but they're always there. Oh, that is so true. Thank you for that. Oh, Sarah says, stub your January blues away. That's exactly what I'm planning to do. So let's start on that. So there's we did the body, and then we attached the head, and we started on making legs. As I said, I've got 3 here sort of finished. Sometimes they turn out to be a tiny bit smaller than the other. So if that is the case, let's just have a look what you do with this. If you've got one smaller than the other, then you can make it bigger by just wrapping a bit of wool around that felted end. So give it an extra wrap, and then of course felt it down. Now, one of the things that I have been maybe showing, or maybe I showed you this before, maybe I haven't. If you don't have a multi-tool, it doesn't mean to say that you can't use more than one needle at the same time. I, in fact, very often hold 2 needles in my hand and stab away. So if you've never tried that, try it. If you're not somebody for holding needles, then definitely have your multi-tool at the ready. Today I'm using the Clover multi-tool, the pen, which is really, I really like that one. We also sell a slightly more economical variety, so if you don't want to fork out too much money, then you can get the blue variety. There is a difference between the two of them. This one is definitely, the pink one is definitely better quality. It also has a contraption here at the front that you can take off. So if you're really needle felting something huge and you need to get right into the core, then your maximum range of the needle is from all the way here from the white plastic to the tip of the needle. If you're wanting to do the same here with the blue, that part doesn't come off, so you only can stab your needle as deep as the needles that are protruding there. So that is one of the differences. There's also a secret compartment here at the back which fits a sewing needle, but it'll be a miracle if I can open it. I can never open it. There is a knack to it. It's got a hinge, so you're meant to hinge it open. But I'm always so worried about breaking the tool, so I'm not even going to try that. So maybe we need to have a word with Mr. Clover and say, can you make this a little bit more hand-friendly or Steffi-friendly maybe. Right, so that is how you're making the leg slightly bigger if you need to. If you want to make it smaller, then obviously just stab it harder. So make 4 of same size legs, and I will just repeat the leg making technique again. So you've got the wool that you've set aside before, and then you flatten that out. Just want to make sure I'm making it exactly the same as I'm meant to, because there's just so many ways of doing things. Yes, that's right. So you've got your wool here, and then you fold that in half. If you've got wispy ends that are sticking out, lay them on top of each other rather than sort of trying to lay them side by side. It definitely works best to make one big wad, and then fold that in half, and then you're rolling this in from the side to make that sausage shape. So the front here where the folded edges is smoother, the rest here is definitely all fluffy, and then all you do is you secure the last wispy bits that are at the end of your roll. And once you've done that, you can let go of the shape because it will hold its own shape, and then you just have to work on shaping that paw a little bit more. So you're stabbing into the front to tuck in wispy ends, and then you're going all around. Now we want the paw to be fairly flat, but not as flat as a pancake. So we want it to be slightly flatter than wide. So we want it to be thinner than wide. Want it to be wider than this side part. Oh, I know what I mean. You probably do as well. So stab it more on the flat part, but not entirely just the flat part. So occasionally do the sides again as well, just to maintain that shape. Use your multi-tool to speed your work up. Dear, it's one of those days where the words are just not coming out. I try harder. Right, and then once you've made 4 of the same legs, you can now, this is sort of the crucial part of where you have to decide which shape your polar bear will take. So the polar bear that we are making, in theory, is quite a flat shape. So he's got his legs are more sticking out to the side, almost like he's crushed, but that makes him easier to stand up when we pose him to go skiing on his skis. So that is that's one way of doing it. But if you want the polar bear to be more of a standing position in the natural way, so on all fours, then it's crucial where you position the legs. So you want to attach the legs where the head is sort of the flushest, so where it's a nice smooth transition from the tip of the nose to the head. Here is more like a dent, so a little step there, so that is going to be the underneath of the bear. If you want the bear legs to be so as if the bear is on all four. First of all, you have to pull out these wispy ends at the end of the leg because they're unfelted. So if you want the bear to be standing on all fours, you position the leg further towards the tummy down here. If you are happy that they're that he's more of a sprawling bear, then you do it more to the side. So that is your choice. I'm going to go more this time with the bear standing up on all fours, and then in the first instance you're felting these wispy ends that you've just teased out. You're felting them onto the body, so that is the first instance of how you attach the legs. And as you can see, at the moment the legs are sort of just randomly attached. Don't worry too much about that, because we're going to shape the whole shape once we've got all the legs and everything attached. And remember, the whole of the polar bear will be covered with this super soft Cape Merino as well. So we're going to do that now for all four legs. Attach them, whether you attach just the front paws or the front legs first, and then the back legs, that's entirely up to you. Or whether you do one side first and then turn the bear over to do the other side. Again, that's entirely up to you. Just get them on for now, even if they're still a little bit floppy and not in the right position. Let's just get them on, and we can sculpt the bear and shape him a little bit more. Once the legs are on, we can see where we are with what is what. So that's one side roughly put on, and now I'm going to do the other side. And whilst I'm doing that, I will go back onto the main screen and maybe have a look what other pick-me-up lines people have got for anybody who needs it today. So let's just have a look. So, oh my goodness. Oh, so many. Oh, I don't know if I can read them all, because considering my state, I might just sit here and pull my eyes out. But I try not to. People are saying, I'll be happier after chatted with you. I definitely will be. I can already feel it, because that's the thing is we people often say, oh, you're helping me so much through this, and you're helping me with this. But actually what people don't realize, you're also helping us to keep, I don't know, just to keep happy and keep our creative juices flowing, because we want to think of new things that make you happy too, and then that makes us happy. So it's like a wonderful vicious cycle, but it's a nice vicious cycle. It's an unvicious cycle, however you would call that. Joe says, you brighten my day up every time I watch you. Thank you so much. Kim says, oh dear, I didn't want this to be all about me. Okay, well, if you want it to be about me, I won't turn it down. Oh dear, you will be happy after having, no, I said that already. Hopefully the day will get better and better from here. Absolutely, it's already getting better. Donna is sending a virtual fluffy hug. Feel for you, Steffi. We all have days like that. I suppose it makes us human. Better times on the horizon. I definitely agree. Thank you, Diane, for that. Cheer up line. Oh, cheer up line. That's probably better than a pick me up line or a chat up line. That's not where we're talking today, but it's a good idea for next time. I'm already getting ideas here. My positive line would be, friends are like, I've already read this. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm reading backwards. This is not good. I would say, don't focus on the negative. Look at all the positives. We have a lot to be grateful for. And you're so right. Absolutely right. I am the luckiest person on this planet. I'm telling you now. So, leaving the loo roll behind in the supermarket is probably the least of my worries. Absolutely. You're so right. And that's what I keep telling myself. And sometimes you can say all these things and they're totally comprehensible in your mind. And yet, the feeling in your heart and that sort of sinking feeling in your stomach can do really weird things to your mind. So it's just about but it helps to focus on the positive. I totally agree. Be grateful for what we've got, not looking for what we haven't got, because we are actually we are in a very, very lucky place compared to so many other people. So whilst I'm chatting, my polar bear is definitely taking shape. I love it when they're at this sort of everything's possible, what you're gonna do to me next type of shape. I really like that. It's often the unnerving part of anything as well, because you think, is this ever going to turn into a polar bear? And you just, I mean, this is the perfect example of what you've just been talking about, because you could just look at the negative on this polar bear and you could say, but his head is very shapeless. Oh, he hasn't got any ears. Oh, he's got any tail. He's never going to, his legs are a bit wobbly. So you could definitely focus on all of that with that polar bear. But actually, if you look at the positive, then you think anything's still possible. I have got complete control over shaping him and making him exactly how I want him to be. So with this particular bear, I have made the legs quite sort of underneath his body so that he can stand on all fours. It's not too late if you wanted to, sort of reshape him. So the other bears that you've been seeing here on the picture, their legs are more to the side. So for them to stand on all fours, it looks a bit weird because the legs really need to come far more underneath their body. So put this one back here. So this is now how far maybe you have got. I don't know if you're all keeping up, but all I'm going to do now is I'm going to give him a bit more firmness by just stabbing him all around and making sure that these legs are a bit more secure. So to do this, I just go onto the overhead camera again so you can see this a bit better. If you need to adjust the length of a leg, for example, you might find you standing them up, or you can see that one leg's far longer than the other. Now I'll give you a trick of how you make the leg shorter. So if you can go at a shallow angle along the leg into the body, and the reason why that works is because if you imagine wherever you push the needle, that's the direction that the fibers get pulled shorter. So if you're going in the direction of where you want to reduce the size, as in making the leg shorter, then that is what's happening. And yes, why would you not just go into the top? You can, but all you're reducing there is the top part of that bit here. This way you're actually pulling the whole leg inward, because that's where you're pushing the needle in, and that's where the needle does its work. So that is one sort of trick, and then you can do that all around. It also helps to fasten the leg on a bit more, because you're coming more from the length of the leg into the body. If you need to extend the leg because it's too short, then that's not the end of the mine don't happen to be too short. But if you need to make them longer, then just extend them by putting an extra bit of wool at the base, and then just felt it down, and then you can repeat that if need be. So I'm not going to do that because my leg's fine. But if you need to do that, then like I say, nothing's lost yet. You've got the whole opportunities are still there, ready for you to do with your bear whatever you want to do. So I'm just firming him up all around. I'm making the legs a bit more integral. And I'm just going to see what happens next on the instructions. So 4 legs are on, and the next thing that we're meant to be doing is starting to cover him. I don't want to do that yet because we've only just started the competition. So I'm going to work a little bit more on him, and I might just jump some of the instructions so that so I'm not following it strictly step by step. I will make the ears next, even though they are made from the really soft wool. So just to remind everybody, you've got 2 different types of wool in your polar bear pack. By the way, the polar bear pack is still available if you want to buy it from our shop, which where have I put the, yes, well, it's an empty pack here, but it's basically, that's the empty bag. It had 2 lots of white wool in there. One is the basic core wool, and so on the screen they probably look pretty much the same, but this one is the basic core wool that we use to make the body and the legs. This one here is a really, really short, super soft fiber. It's almost like, feels a bit like cotton wool, and it's the Cape Merino. I will tell you a little bit about the length and of fibers and how well that works. So if you have any wool tops, you can listen to this while you're maybe finishing off the legs or just stabbing a bit more on your bear. So if you remember, there's a difference between wool bats and wool tops. We'll just remind you what the difference is. So I just happen to have, oh no, that's a touch too fairy. Well, for the fairies that we are making, we often use the wool. We often use the wool tops, which is a really long fiber, and it's been combed so that the fibers run side by side. Now, 3D needle felting is possible with this, but it's really hard because you have to imagine if the needle tangles up the fibers and they get tighter, tighter and tighter together. If you've got really long fibers, it's going to take a long, long time to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And also there is not very much air. It's not a very lofty wool. So there's not much air in it, and the air you need to keep the wool lofty, and then you can squish it out. The air gets squished out as it gets tighter and tighter, but if there's no air there in the first place, it just looks really flat. A wool bat, in comparison, is where the wool's already, it's been carded, it's been brushed rather than combed, and you get sort of a mixed up lot of a wool. So it can have long fibers. This is actually quite a long fibered wool, that basic core wool. So it's got quite a long staple. That's the other word that you can use. And it's slightly crimped, so that makes it even better to work it into a wool bat if the fiber sort of is slightly curly. Because it's nice and bouncy. It's really good to have a bouncy, lofty wool that's turned into a wool bat to work for 3D shaping. You can work with longer fibers and you can work with shorter fibers, but what is really not very easy to work with is if you've got super, super short fibers. And we have got a couple of those wool bats on our website. One is the Cape Merino. It's got a really short staple. It's so short, I can't even, trying to find, I can't make it long. It's just so short. It's probably maybe the wool, one fiber is maybe 1 to 2 centimeters, whereas this is maybe 10 to 12, something like that, or even longer. And if it's really, really short, that's also not very good for 3D needle felting. So we've got the Cape Merino, which is of that kind. We've also got the Portuguese and the hair merino. You can use it, but it doesn't make a very solid felt. Or finished felt, because you can also imagine if you've got really short fiber, the fibers don't reach very deep, so they're just like that, so they don't go really deep because they can't, because they haven't got that length of the fiber to tangle up with each other. So therefore, any of these short fibers, you can 3D needle felt them, but you can't make a really solid core. We never use this for core. And the other thing is that, believe it or not, but they break your needle really fast. And the reason for that is that they're just very dense because they're really short. They're really dense together, and then it's best to use a medium needle or even a fine needle if you're doing anything 3D shaping on them, rather than a coarse needle, because there isn't much loftiness in there. They're very close together, and so the needle finds it hard to go in, and you can break your needle. That's basically a little reminder of what wool tops and wool bats do, but also there are shorter wool fibered wool bats than some of the longer fibered ones. Anyway, so I was going to make the ears, but before I do this, I'm just going to remind you that we have got a hoggy competition going on. So we have got our family of 4 plus the baby. We're releasing the pack on the 25th of January, which happens to be Burns Night. And of course, in the meantime, there is a competition going on our Facebook already. It's on Every Wanna Maker, the Facebook group. So if you're not a member yet, come and join us. It requires you to answer 3 questions to become a member of that group. They're not bad questions. We just want to know that you're there for personal reasons, and that you agree to share makers, products and makes. And we want to see your family, but of course we also want to see the tiny baby that you have made to go with the family. So he's or she maybe is now part of the McHoggy clan, and so the McHoggy pack actually makes 5 little hoggies. One is a tiny hoggy, a baby hoggy, and the pack will be for sale on on the 25th, from the 25th of January, and we will have a look at the competition winners at some point as well. So do post your families that you have already made before Christmas and or maybe after Christmas, but you can also make a fresh family now from the 25th of January with our McHoggy family pack. That's what it's called. And let's have a look at some of these comments here. Try not to read the same comments again. Blue helps promote your self-development, so a reason to needle all day. Blue helps promote your self-development, so a reason to needle all day. Okay, I think I know what you mean, but we speak a secret language here at the Makers, so I'm sure you can explain. Oh, I don't want to read some of these comments. They're so self-promoting. That's not what I'm here for. But apparently I've always put a smile on somebody's face, on Eva's face, actually. My middle name is Eva. My grandmother was called Eva. Claire says, negative people need drama like it's oxygen. Stay positive and take their breath away. Well, I can be a drama queen, but I'm always a drama queen in the most positive way. I always exaggerate. Everything's always bigger, better, and more opportunities, best. Everything's like, if one person says something, then to me that's like the whole world says it. So I think I'm too much of a, I don't know. I just love convincing people that we do the best things in the world, right? Only because I believe it too. Kim says, I would say have a cup of tea, get some fluff and needles and stab away. Absolutely, that's totally right. There's always a bright blue sky behind the clouds. Totally right too. Thank you, Diana. Sandra says, my pickup line is reach for the moon. You might not get there, but you will be amongst the stars. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, and my surname, Stern, actually is the German word for star. So very appropriate. You'll be amongst the Steffis. Donna says, motivational line, virtual hug for you, and remember you're a good friend, listener, laugh, etc. Whichever one should apply to said person. That's it. All of it, hopefully, to most people. Jennifer says, oh, hi, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. Good to have this to look forward to. Jennifer, you're not too late to tell us a good pick-me-up line. Is that the right thing? What was the other? I can't... something nice you say to somebody if they're feeling a bit down in the dumps. Diane says, I cannot stand it when people say there's always someone worse than you. What I would say, there's better days to come. Oh yeah, of course there are. There's always better days to come. That reminds me of what my mum used to, bless her, she's no longer with us, but my mum used to say, if I wasn't eating my food as a child, she'll always say, you must eat your food. Think of all these poor Ethiopian children. They're starving. And I ate my food thinking, oh, I'm stopping children from starving. It's the worst thing ever. You know, just because somebody is worse off doesn't mean to say whatever you're doing more of helps them at all. You know, they were still starving and I was getting fat. So what's the point of that? Some weird things. It just takes me back to, sorry, this is just completely off the beaten track. But my grandmother, she always had lots of sweets in her cupboard. And I'm sure that she was of the generation that thought that sweets equal love. So the more sweets there were in the cupboard, the more I knew she loved me. And of course, we now know that that's not necessarily really that good, giving children lots of sweets. My line would be, when everything feels like an uphill struggle, just think of the view from the top and you will get there. Or like that. Yes. Hopefully there are no clouds on that day. Pamela says, I have always liked whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Oh, quote by Henry Ford. This is my most often used tool, says Pamela, which is the 3-needle tool. Excellent. Teresa says, just got here. Hi, Teresa. Nice to see you. If we didn't get rain, we wouldn't have rainbows. Ah, that's a good one, Meg. I like that, and I love rainbows. Serena says, my pick-me-up is always focus on what you do. what you do have, no matter how small, rather than what you don't have. Absolutely right. Sandra says, glad I'm not the only one who daren't try to force the back compartment open. Oh, I see. No, I know. It's definitely, I know it's possible. But I feel I'm going to break the tool. I've managed it once. Oh, I think I'm managing. Oh, I've got it. It's not a hinge. It's not a hinge. Okay, I've got to do this in the overhead camera. Okay, right. I always thought this was a hinge because it's a little, I don't know if you can see this. There's like a little, so actually, well, done it once, must be able to do this with the lid on. Whatever you do, don't have the lid off. It's not working again. It's happening slowly. It's obviously, I don't know, it's like a James Bond tool with maybe you have some secret weapon in there. So it's not easy for anybody to open. So anyway, it does help. It does open and it closes again. Much easier than it opens. So there you go. Right, well, I'm glad I managed to do that at least once. A cup of tea, a bar of chocolate, a needle felting cure, all bad things. Absolutely, that's from Merlingtons. Jude says, oh, here's my motivational line. Oh, motivational line, that's good. Sometimes when things seem to be falling apart, they actually may be falling into place. Absolutely, and I'm a great believer that all this discomfort about uncertainty is if you can hold it and if you can stay with it after, things start to happen in a positive way. Change is always good. It might not feel comfortable, but it's always good. That's what I always say. My pickup is grab some fluff, grip a needle and stab away, says Michael. Totally agree. I think we all agree that stabbing fluff helps, definitely. So let's do exactly that. Right. So I've stretched out the I've stretched out when the cutoff is for the competition. But what I will do is, so normally in the instructions you cover it with the fluffy white wool, which is this one here, different from the core wool. But what I will be doing is I'm going to make a couple of ears first, and once I start covering, then we stick to the original plan. So to make the ears, they have actually really tiny ears, polar bears. I suppose they don't have big things sticking out so they don't freeze off. And you can make these ears literally by just using the needle on your felting mat and sort of shape them as you're going along. So the way that I often do is I sort of shape it with my fingers and hold on to the fluffy ends here, and that sort of keeps my fingers safe as well. And then I stab into the rest, and obviously they've got little round ears. So I stab into the rest. When you flat felt anything like this, you have to make sure you lift it off. With a Cape Merino, it's not such a big deal to lift it off because it's got such short fibers that even if you stab them into your earth mat, by the way, we've got our first anniversary of the earth-friendly felting mats. So we've been patting ourselves on the back saying that in one whole year, imagine how many foam mats we have saved to be chucked away and end up in some landfill, or worse still, in our oceans. So I feel a little bit smug about this today. I will be totally honest that our earth mat is 1 year old. We introduced it for the first time during our winter needle felting retreat, which happened just before the lockdown in January last year. And we trialed it there, and all the people who came to the retreat absolutely loved it. So and it is the best thing ever. So please get your earth-friendly felting mat, or the earth mat as we call it, and think of the environment before you invest in another foam mat or another plastic-like mat. Right, one little ear done here, and now I'm going to do the second one. So I've just sort of flat felt into it. There's not much shaping other than with my fingers, and then I just use my mat and my needle, so the slight attachment to the mat helps to shape the ear. Turn it round, stab it from the other side, and I'm just making two little round little ears. They're sort of, what are they, about, gosh, I want to compare it to a coin, but I haven't seen any coins for so long. I literally haven't used any coins since March. I've only card payments, so I can't remember what It's like a fingernail, thumb fingernail size, whatever that is. Maybe a 5p piece, maybe a 1p piece, something like that, between the two, I think. There we go. And this is obviously British money. There we go. Right, 2 ears ready to be attached onto the bear, and I'm actually going to attach them first and then cover the bear. So we tease out the competition a little bit longer. So to attach the ears, we do exactly what we did with the legs. Tease out the fibers and then put them on the side of the bear's head. And they are at the moment humongous. I don't actually want them to be that big. So I'm just fastening them on first, and now I'm going to work on the size a little bit. And as with the legs, you can shorten the ear by going in lengthways at a really shallow angle. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. To shape the ear, you can just stab into what you imagine to be the ear hole. So that will also shorten the ear. And then make sure that the sides are tucked forward. So that's, and then at some point you have to look at the bear and make sure the ears are in the right place, because that's also useful to have them in the right place. I think that's okay. And now I'm going to do the other side. I'm not so worried about the transition between the ear and the head. So what looks a little bit like it's been felted on, because we're going to cover the rest of the bear with that fluffy white wool that I've made the ears from. And do the same on the other side. Most animals go through a transition of not looking like the animal that you're planning to make. So if I look at mine at the moment, it looks a bit piggyish, but it will be fine. I know it will. And just stab into the center here. So 2 ears. One is fastened on more than the other. And once I've done this, I'm going to start covering the bear with the wool. Before I do this, I'm just going to check in how everybody's doing at the other end, and I need to tell you about something else as well. So we have buddied up. We often buddy up with charities because we want to also do good in monetary terms with people who are either looking after people or even animals. We love animals, of course, which is why we needle felt animals most of the time. And we've buddied up with a cat protection. And we are going to run a workshop for them on Facebook, which is hosted by a private group. So if you want to get your ticket, you have to pop onto the cat protection website and just look for needle felted mini cat. There should be a link coming up, but Emma is also posting the link here. We've also got the link on our website, so you can go into the drop-down menu under workshops, and there's a link in there that takes you straight to the cat protection page where you can book your workshop. And the cat workshop pack will look like this. Ta-ta! You get it through as a first class box through your letterbox. So you don't even have to be home to get it, as long as it fits your letterbox. I don't want to open it because it's a surprise. I'll do that another time. But it's got everything in there to make 2 little cats, mini cats. And the cats, I'll just show you what they potentially could look like. Oh, there's a whole pile of cats here. So the idea is that you are able to make the cats so that they are like your cat. So you can make a mini version of your cat. So maybe a little tabby cat, maybe just a grey cat, maybe a little black cat. Maybe the black cat has got it's really hard to see. Maybe it's got a white patch somewhere. Maybe just a white cat. Maybe you've got a ginger cat. Maybe you've got a tortoiseshell cat. Or anything of the kind, whatever your cat looks like, that's what you're meant to be doing in the workshop with me. And for this, you need to buy a ticket, and then we send out for you the workshop pack, and you make 1 cat with me. And all of this takes place on the 27th of February, which is Saturday, and it is, I think, at 10:30 in the morning. I might be mistaken, but I think it is at that time. And then you can make your little personalized cat. If you're a cat lover, you love this in particular. And the workshop packs have just gone up for sale yesterday, so we're just starting to send these packs out, and hoping that many of you can join me and do not just something for yourself, but maybe it helps give a little cat a home. It might help for vet treatment, or for sheltering the cat, maybe to foster a cat. All of that will go to a really good cause. And I have got two cats myself. I love my cats. I love my dogs too, and I love the chickens and the tortoises and the ferrets and everything else as well. I love all animals. But if you're a cat lover, there's something very special about cats. I think all the cat lovers will agree. So this is your chance to do something good, and at the same time, maybe make a mini version of your own cat, and have a bit of fun in the process too, because that's what we've established. Stubbing fluff is good for your soul. It's good for keeping your mind in a positive place. Just have a quick look what we've got here before we close the competition. Sorry, Natasha, you have some very good ideas. Pick me up, grab the nearest pillow and scream loudly into it for 20 seconds or longer. And then go and make a lovely hot drink. Sit in the quiet and look out the window at the birds. Oh, that's I usually don't bother with a pillow. I just scream anyway. Yes. Anyway, so if anybody is from abroad and wants to make the little mini cat, I think you might have to get in touch directly with the Cat Protection and find out what extra you've got to pay for postage, because the price that the workshop is offered for, which is £20, and that includes half of it goes straight to the Cat Protection. It includes the postage for the UK, so you might have to ask them if they can process extra postage. They probably get in touch with us to find out how much more it will cost, so depending on where you are in the world. But that's how it's worked in the past, so you might have to ask them. That's really strange. I've just got a call coming through from Milan. Ooh, wonder who's calling me from Milan. Not that I know anybody, but I think I'm just going to decline it, because I'm not having a live call here from Milan. Right, Laura says, it's not a motivational line, but I find it useful to think about the friendships I have. I'm so lucky that I don't have a lot of friends, but those I have, couldn't wish for better. That's it. It's not always about quantity, it's about quality, right? So that's a good one. Big hugs, Steffi says. Jane, stop, take a few breaths, sit and stroke or cuddle your cat or dog. Very relaxing. Oh my goodness, yes. Especially, we've got such silly dogs. With the cats, it's got to work for them too, but the dogs are always happy to get a cuddle. Thumbs up, says Jules. Oh yes, thumbs up, Steffi says Jules, but I want to say thumbs up, everybody. Give us the thumbs up. We've got 50 people. We can get 50 thumbs up. Come on, guys. All you need to do is just press the thumbs up on the thumbs up just below the screen. You can do it. It's dead easy. I might want to tease the competition out until I get 50 thumbs up. No, I won't be mean like that. Donna says, Haggis could be any sort of character as they are mythical. Could be three-legged animal. Have I missed something? What are you talking about? Oh, here we go. Donna says, Steffi, future ideas for theme projects. Welsh dragon could be done on St. David's Day. Scottish haggis for Burns Day. Okay, so we have got a dragon coming up in our Maker's Box. So next Maker's Box is going to be the Valley sheep and with lamb. And it's about that big. And then the month after, in March, is going to be the magic dragon. But you could turn it into a Welsh dragon. And we haven't got any plans to needlefelter haggis. So that's definitely something that we need to think about. So haggis could be any sort of character as they are mythical. Could be three-legged animal. Oh, I thought that's something you eat, a haggis. Or four-legged animal with two long legs and on one side. Actually, that's probably like most of my needlefelts when they start out. Two short legs on the other side, easier to run around hills. Ah, didn't know that. Tinsy Winsy says hi. Ooh, love the hoggies. Thank you, Tina. It's nice to see you here. Gina says, oh, finally made. I think we're talking about hoggies here. Always hunt wild, hairy haggis on a moonless night, I was told. Wild, hairy haggis. Please, somebody tell me, haggis is what you eat, isn't it? Isn't that what that Scottish dish is with that's inside a stomach skin or something like that? I just give a smile and say tomorrow is another day. Oh. My mum used to say that too, so apparently I ask if we, oh, I see. Oh, my dinner plate and send, oh yes, that's right, exactly. It's always like, eat your food, other people are starving if you don't. Oh, bless, you actually got it worked out. So Stephanie used to ask her mum if she could make a food parcel and send it to them. Why didn't I think of that? I just ate it thinking I'm saving a child. This is amazing. Such strange logic that adults have for children. I think it was worse when I was a child in the 70s, but it's yes. So happy anniversary, first anniversary for these wool mats. Okay, so apparently haggis is food and a Scottish folklore creature. I didn't know that. I've lived here so long in this country and I don't know all these ins and outs. We are all authors of our own lives. When unexpected or unpleasant things happen, yell, plot, twist and move on. Let them wander. Oh, people love the earth mats. Excellent. Are we getting more? We've got over 50 people watching now, so I don't know how I can see how the thumbs up. Can somebody give me an update how many thumbs up we've got? I'm not in competition with Pam, but she has given me an idea, and Pam deserves totally to get over 50 thumbs up. Maybe I only deserve 11, right? It's possible. Oh, Pamela says, outside posts with your dog always picks me up. I know, I'm sometimes think, oh, this is the best photo I've ever taken. This is the best photo. This is the best thing I've ever seen. So, oh, I see. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to like the video. This is, if you're putting your thumb up in the chat, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But what I'm talking about is move a little bit to the left, and there's a little thumb. It's a like button, basically. It's like a like button. That's what I tried to say. Okay. Oh, 36. We're at 36 likes. Thank you. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading. I'm getting carried away. Okay, I'm here. Right. Let's get on with the polar bear, which means at this point we're closing the competition. So Emma is now going to busily pick a winner, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start covering the polar bear with this super soft white merino wool. Now the trick is that you are going to apply it thinly for two reasons. One is unless you've got to build up a bit more bulk, which you can also still do with your spare core wool. The reason why we're applying it thinly is for the reason that I said earlier, that you don't want to break your needle. So you might find that you can use your coarse needle if you put it in thin, because it's going straight into the soft shape of the that you made with the core wool. And all you're doing is you're just stabbing it so that it gives the fluffy effect on the outer of this bear. And then you're doing this all over, and whenever you're applying your little patches and batches of wool, you want to make sure that they overlap. It's hard to see in the camera. You want to make sure they overlap and that they've got soft ends. So what you don't want to do is, I show you, this is not what you're doing, is you're not folding it into a little parcel and then put it on, because we don't want to add a feature. We just want to cover the whole bear. And if you are using a finer needle, then you might get less of a stabby look. So you could go down a needle size if you want to. Oh, that's even coarser needle. That one's better. And fasten the wool on this way. Just to remind you all, if you're ordering from us in January, our sale, by the way, is ongoing. We have got some of these earth mats. They're hand cut in a 20 by 20 square centimeter shape. We have the sets in the sale at the moment. So don't miss out on those. I think they're running down very quickly. And if you're ordering from us this month, you will be getting tutorial on the back page of our newsletter that tells you and teaches you how to make a bobble hat, so that my polar bear will wear later. And of course, that's also a free tutorial, which you don't have to buy from us to get that. It's free tutorial available on our website. And there are lots of free tutorials. So if ever you get stuck with anything, look on there first, and learn from there. If there's something that we don't have on there and you really want to see, then do get back. Do get in touch with us. We're trying our very best to imagine what people want and what we need to tell people about our products, and maybe some needle felting projects that they would like to make. But it's for you, so we don't always get it completely right. So do give us ideas. We might not run and do it straight away, but we will definitely take everything in that people are telling us. And at the moment, so I'm covering the bear with this fluffy white wool. It's really hard maybe to tell in the camera what is what, but it is a much nicer finish with that really soft Cape Merino. And if you can't finish this whilst I'm doing the live stream here, then this is your homework for next week, is to cover your polar bear in this super soft merino. And if the polar bear head, it is quite a small head. They have got quite small heads, but if yours is tiny, then you can build up the bulk. If it's too big, you can probably still stuff it down. This particular project is left quite soft, so don't think you've got a rock solid bear. It's more of a cuddly polar bear than a very, very if I squeeze him, you can see that he is quite soft still. And we've got a winner for today as well, and it's Teresa. So well done, Teresa. You will be getting our baby barn owl kit, which is this one here. That's going to go in the post to you. If you could drop us an email at info@themakers, and whoever is winning it on Thursday, then obviously it's not somebody called Teresa. It might be, but I doubt it. Drop us an email and say that you're the winner of today's live stream for your baby barn owl kit. And if you're watching this any other time in the future, then you can't participate in the competition. This is only during the live stream, I should say that too. And whilst we're talking about the baby barn owls, we have had some amazing owls from our makers box in January. You can still get this until the very end of the January, until the very last day, the makers box to make the large barn owl. And of course, we've seen people make the little baby barn owls to go with the large barn owl as well, which is lovely photos. Somebody made that, I can't remember who. So there are tips on how to make the legs on YouTube already, and we have seen many beautiful photos of the finished barn owls. They're all individual, but they're all definitely barn owls, and you all have done extremely well. So well done everybody if you've made your barn owl, and well done if you are signing up today to make a barn owl, because it's not too late to sign up to our subscription box. They don't tie you in a contract. You can unsubscribe anytime. You can skip boxes, so if there are some projects that aren't right up your street, or maybe you're feeling a bit overwhelmed doing one a month, then just skip the months that you don't want to participate, and then you just get your box when you want it. And remember, this is not our only subscription box. We also have a surprise box, which this month is themed people. I've seen some really lovely creations on that as well. I'm stabbing my polar bear in the bum right now. And there's a fairy box. This month is love. Love is the theme for the fairy box. I happen to have her here. She normally holds a heart, but she's given her heart away to somebody else already. And I can tell you, it's been very exciting. I've been working on future fairies, and the next one is an amethyst fairy, and then after that is a rainbow fairy. Loving her too. And so this is subscription boxes. You can sign up anytime. Just go onto our website. It's got a category of its own, subscriptions, and we have got amazing reviews on them, and we have many subscribers, and they're getting there's more and more, which is a testimonial on its own. So yes, please do that. So my little polar bear pig here looks like that at the moment, but it will look more of a polar bear once I'm going to work on the face. So I'm not disheartened by it at all. I'm remembering the good things about it rather than focusing on the negative things. So if you can do the same thing, then we're all going to be in a good place. And thank you so much. You've definitely helped me today to feel, I don't know, just feel myself again and get back to this equilibrium. It's really lovely to have you all on board. I feel so privileged that we've got such lovely followers and new people joining every day. Please sign up to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet. Tell your friends to pop over and check us out, and then come and join our Everyone a Maker Facebook group if you haven't done so yet. It's really easy. Everyone a Maker, which is exactly what it is. Everyone can make something, and we see you over there. So take care, everybody, and I see you on Thursday at the live stream, repeat of this live stream, and otherwise I see you next week Tuesday with part 3 of the polar bear, when we will be finishing him. Until then, take care, everybody, stay safe and stay positive. Bye.